Hello everyone, I am Alka1993 and welcome to the 53rd finale for the Foreverlocke. We are in Johto in Pokemon SoulSilver, and we intend to get Hall of Famers 285 through 290 into the Hall of Fame for the Foreverlocke today. This is the team that we are working with. Our main Pokemon, Prince the Manaphy. While I say hello to Wolfie, to Faba, and everyone else who's in the chat, hello. Prince the Manaphy is here. Has been, you could say, the MVP of the team. Real good stats overall, nice coverage. Started with just Bubble, but had Tail Glow from the start. So if you compare to my last playthrough of SoulSilver, it is Fiona. Fiona had slightly lower stats and didn't have Tail Glow. Prince has Tail Glow. That is massive. I expect to get through in the Hall of Fame with all 6 Pokemon, and for Prince to do most of the fighting, especially due to Tail Glow. Even without Tail Glow, it'll probably work. But yeah, Prince is probably going to be used a lot. Barbara is here as a Dustox. Somewhat hard to get across. Has Snap, Sludge Bomb, Bug Buzz, but it has pretty nice defense, especially special defense. It naturally learns Protect and Toxic, which have not been used that much. I intend to use it against 1, maybe 2 Pokemon in the Hall of Fame. Karen's Umbreon is one of the ones I'm considering using it against. Flowewa the Cherrim hasn't been as useful as I thought it would be. Sure, against the various water types, like the route between Olivine and Cianwood, Flowewa has been useful. And then in the Blackthorn Gym, because of a 64 power Hidden Power Dragon. Flowewa was very useful there. Munchies was used a lot more than I expected. Mostly because Flowewa doesn't have a lot of coverage, and Barbara sometimes doesn't hit, like, its coverage and what it can hit normal or super effectively isn't that great. Munchies had Fire Punch, Seed Bomb, Return, Brick Break from the start due to TMs and move tutors I used in the last game. And then in Victory Road I found the TM for Earthquake. So I give Munchies an upgrade. I thought maybe that'll help against, let's say, a Muck in the Koga fight. I'll probably use Sprint still, but Munchies has a slightly better move there. Then we got Buzzby. Second opportunity for us to get Combi into the Hall of Fame. First one didn't work. I think that was in Platinum. I had the same moves the entire playthrough. Bug Bite. I think Bug Bite might be Move Tutor as well. Everything is the thing with Move Tutor from previous playthrough. As a Focus Sash. I have a second Focus Sash which I might put on P for the later fights, but initially I think P might survive a hit, especially against the things that aren't meant to hit super hard. And then maybe the Light Clay will be a bit more effective, but that's if I use it. I don't intend to use it. I feel confident that we can do it without Buzzby and P. And then the rest won't be appearing that much, although I have intentions to use Barbara and Munchies. I don't remember if Flowewa was planned. Maybe against Bruno's Onyx, but probably not too many more Pokemon than that. Prince just has a really good matchup against a lot of the Pokemon. Just having a pure water type, or maybe like a water psychic like Slowking, give it Surf, give it Ice Beam, you can take out most Pokemon in the league. And that's why I think like Feraligatr or Slowking or now Manaphy are really useful when you do a Johto playthrough, whether it's Gen 2 or Gen 4. We'd have 1 death. Flowewa was not on the team initially. We had Slappy Bird, the future Staraptor. We added it after we beat Faulkner due to the level cap. We used it against Scyther because, hey, Intimidates plus Stab super effective. Probably a good idea. Scyther was slightly faster, used Leer turn 1 while I flew up. They focus energy turn 2 while I hit down. Scyther survived with a minuscule amount of HP, must have been 1 or 2 HP. And then they used Quick Attack, which crit. Which had the higher chance to crit due to focus energy. It had the extra damage due to Leer. It ignored the Intimidate because of the crit, and then double damage. And that was enough to take out Slappy Bird from full. Scyther was faster, so even if I used Quick Attack, I don't remember if I did or not. I don't think I had Quick Attack on Staravia at the time. But even if I had used Quick Attack, that Scyther was faster. I used a Staravia died to a bug. Like, it was Scyther, but Staravia died in the bug gym. Probably won't see that one too often, just straight up type advantage, but yeah, that happened. 1 death, which means 4 runs in a row now where we've had at least 1 death, which is unfortunate. I think there was a run of 5 or 6 in the past. No, I think... I'm trying to think, how many runs will I have had in the past in succession where there was a death? I think that's still... No, it's 6. Run 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. That's 6 deaths. Well, 6 runs with deaths. And now I'm on 4. The longest run without deaths was 4. Now we're again on 4 with deaths. So hopefully that'll change when we get to the next game, but that's when we get to the next game. We have to do this one first. I think I'm ready. I hope you're ready. I have my Pokemon. I have a decent amount of items. Mom's been saving some money for us because the next item she can give us is a Focus Sash, which is the last major item she can give us. So I'll do the tiny bit of post-game just to have Mom give us the Focus Sash so I can transfer that over. I think that'll be useful enough. And then we have 3 Focus Sashes. And then I might only try to get them again in Diamond and Pearl, or if I use them up. That's looking good with the items. Good amount of full resource, full heals, get some elixirs and stuff. What, Ethan? What? I'm about to do the finale. My dad was tackled by a Pokemon and now his lower back hurts. It seems that it thought they were only playing around. Well, it wasn't anything big, so that's good to hear. I'm happy Professor Elm is okay. Prince, how do you feel about this league challenge? I think they're ready. Let's do this. Once you enter this door, you will be facing one of the Elite Four. They are really tough. You cannot exit once you enter. Are you ready? Be courageous and go for it. Oh, the repel wore off. I had a repel because I had to go back to, like, once I got to Victory Road, I think, I had to go back to Cherry Grove to get a strength Pokemon, and go back to Victory Road, go to Victory Road, use a couple of repels, and I guess one of them hadn't run out yet. Just for safety, I will not be reading chat during the fights, or between the fights I will, so feel free to put anything you want in the chat, outside of obvious spam and breaking rules. But any questions or concerns or hype things, I'll read it between the fights. Welcome to the Pokemon League. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Will. I have trained all around the world, making my Psychic-type Pokemon powerful. And, at last, I've been accepted into the Elite Four. I can only keep getting better. Losing is not an option. I love these intro screens where you see them against each other. It's cool. The level difference is going to help early on, as it usually does, plus the stats. Plus the fact that I know Prince is just the most useful Pokemon, even though it didn't really need the levels. Considering how useful it is, I gave it the levels. I trained Evan up to level 47, which is the final E4 members level cap. But it's also champion level cap -3, which is also another way you could calculate it. It ends up being the same. And then I've found 7 rare candies throughout the playthrough. 5 of them I give to Prince, 2 of them I give to Munchies. The reason I didn't give more to Prince is 1, Munchies is going to be used in a few and has a bit less survivability maybe to Prince because it can't hit as hard. And at the same time, I still have to stick to the Foreverlocke rule where all Pokemon must stay within 5 levels of each other. Right, Ice Beam. I expect to use Ice Beam quite a bit in the E4 and Champion fight, so I gave it 2 of my PP ups. I found 3 of them throughout the playthrough. I put the other one on Surf, considering I know I'm going to use Prince a lot. But I do have ethers and elixirs, so probably it won't be a problem. This Jinx. Ah, this Jinx. Gold and Silver Jinx, or specifically Silver Jinx, was the one that killed my Feraligatr in my very first playthrough. And I would argue that that specific kill, that crit, made me lose that run. The only Foreverlocke loss that I've had so far. There's been a few runs that have been close, but only so far the very first one that I've lost. Sure, I didn't overlevel. Everyone was at 47 at the time, I think. No items in battle, so no healing. There was set mode as well. It was super hard. So the fact that I even got to Lance with 5 Pokemon was amazing. But Feraligatr was going to be the key against Lance. And it was exactly Feraligatr that died against Will, against the Jinx. That made it really difficult. I was somehow able, without deaths, to get through all the other fights. Then lost against Lance. It was not gonna happen. But that is why I think 2 playthroughs ago in... was it Pokemon Gold or was it Pokemon Crystal? Whichever one it was a Johto Gen 2 game. I had a Dragonite. I showed Lance the power of Dragonite. Although I will admit, I didn't use that Dragonite against their Dragonite, because mine didn't have an Ice or a Dragon move. Theirs had Outrage, so a crit super effective stat move from them would have still been scary. Hello, Labente. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the Foreverlocke finale, where we try to get 6 new Hall of Famers. Let's go, Slowbro down. Good and simple start. Now one more Zatu. And with leftovers, in the meantime, I've healed everything that I can. I don't expect to be using something like Choice Band or Choice Specs. I think having that variety in moves is good. Even against Lance, I'll swap between Surf and Ice Beam. Depending on the Pokemon that I'm fighting, so having that is good. And I can Tail Glow boost to stronger than what Choice Specs can give me. So in some specific scenarios where maybe I just want to hit hard immediately, the entire team is weak to the same thing, and the Pokemon doesn't have boosting moves itself, like a Nasty Plot, a Tail Glow, a Source Dance. Alright, that was a quick one. As expected, got through Will very easily. What's a Koga? Now for Koga, I was considering using Munchies for a few of the fights. Especially against Venomoth, I think Munchies can do very well. The scary Pokemon there is Fortress, I would say. The Crobat and Muk can be annoying, especially Crobat with Double Team. But the Fortress is 4 times weak to Fire Punch. Fire Punch is now physical, so it might not even take them out. But it is something to consider. Munchlax is super slow. Fortress has Explosion. Munchlax has really good HP stat. Its defense stat isn't that great. I was considering actually here for the very first one for Ariados to actually use Combi and use Air Cutter. I think Combi can probably win, but they do have Stab, Poison Jab, and if they poison me, especially if they crit me, it's a bit risky. Maybe I might need the Focus Sash. I probably will need the Focus Sash. I just don't want to risk it. As long as only if I feel super safe might I do that. We're gonna go with Prince again. Do it with Giga Drain and Poison Jab for some good damage. I am gonna Tail Glow. With 1, I'll probably be fine to KO the rest, considering my base stats. Considering the rest, Spiderweb comes in, so I'm not allowed to switch. But that is only, I believe, while Ariados is active. Just take out Ariados. There's Fortress. That's the one I wanted to deal with Prince. With the 1 Tail Glow boost, we should be able to easily take him out. We have no risk of Explosion, because I think an Explosion against Prince, assuming it crits, can still take Prince out. Explosion is strong. Fortress has a good attack stat. It just has a move pool that it can't really make that good use of it. it's still scary. It still halves the defense stat. Muck. Probably the main Pokemon that I would use Earthquake against if I was using Munchlax. But the safe play is just to use Prince again. I like, especially in finales, to use every Pokemon I have at least once. I don't expect to be using P. This is not, it's not gonna happen. Combee, I might have used here against Ariados, but I also didn't want to make use of the Focus Sash. I'll save it for a future playthrough, maybe. Why would they use Venomoth last? I'm happy they're in this game they're suddenly using their ace not last. I think that's a cool thing if they feel like that's the better play. However, I'm faster than a Crobat. Now I will say, before I got to the league, like the last hour or two, I did a little bit of EV training, and I gave Prince a lot of speed EVs. Because in the games without the full team EXP share, generally you won't have full EVs even when you get to the league with a Pokemon you've had from the start. That happened with Prince. Prince has a really good speed stat. It's base 100 everywhere, as being a mythical Pokemon that it is. Like one of the like it's like Mew, like Victini, like Shaman. It's base 100 overall. Really nice. Negative speed nature. Still fast. But I gave it a lot of speed because I thought speed special attack is what I want on it, and I can boost the special attack easily with Tail Glow. And while we were talking about that, oh, look who's been defeated. It's Koga. Do we need to heal? No. We are going to use a new Pokemon, though. We're going to use Dustox for one Pokemon, and then switch to Manaphy. Because Hitmonlee has Blaze Kick. For Onix, I could use Cherim, but I'd like to set up one Tail Glow so I can probably Surf KO everyone else. Hey, how do you feel about this Lava Room, Dustox? Barbara. Let out a battle cry. Alright, let's just battle. I always strain to the extreme because I believe in our potential. That is how we became strong. Can you withstand our power? I see no fear in you. You look determined. Perfect for battle. Ready, Savannah? You will bow down to our overwhelming power. Hoo-ha! I must always say hoo-ha because that's how Lid says it. I know it's hua. Just getting in there. Alright, hit him on top. This feels like a safe Pokemon to use Dustox against. So we're gonna Sludge Bomb. Oh, they're faster. Alright. Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, I put the EVs for Barbara into more of its HP and defenses. Because if I use it, I expected to mostly use it for the stalling strategies. That didn't deal as much damage as I thought, but that might be a good thing. Hitmonlee is good. The Hitmons in general have good special defense. In a way, I'm not happy that they're poisoned, because Toxic would have been maybe more useful in the long run. But this could actually be seen as a good thing. Oh, this maybe could not. Onix. Let's see. They get poisoned. They can set up Sandstorm. If they didn't have Sandstorm as a move and just damaging moves, it would have protected there just to get the lefties heal. But I'll just switch. I could go Flowewa. I could go Prince. Flowewa is safe here to take out the Onix. But Onix is the safest Pokemon to set up on with Prince. However, with the level difference, do I risk it? I want to use Flowewa. I'll take the small risk. I'll go Flowewa here. I want to use Flowewa. I feel like Flowewa is useful. It's just the matchups in the E4 just happen to not work for a grass type. Flowewa could actually come into play a bit against the dragons in Lance's fights in case Prince goes down. Flowewa does have HP Dragon. It's just going to be regular super effective from a medium power move. But it is a possibility. Flowewa Energy Ball. There we go. I haven't used Munchies yet. I didn't talk about how I might use Munchies. Haven't actually used Munchies. The main thing Munchies have been used for is taking out every Magnemite and Magneton that I see. Including Jasmine's ones. The interesting thing about Munchies, though, I checked its EVs when I got to the league. Surprisingly, its highest EVs are in speed. Magna might give special attack EVs, and it doesn't have that much. I'm trying to figure out, did I just use Munchlags against every bird, like Pidgey or Dodo? And I'm not sure the exact EVs that they give. I assume most of them will give speed. Munchlags has like at 99 EVs in speed, and like 70 maybe in 2 other stats, and then around 30 or 40 in the rest. But speed was definitely the highest one, which I was surprised by. This is the one thing I said, like, a maybe risk of using it, Charm before, is if high jump kick hits and then crits. Right here. They didn't even use high jump kick, so we're completely safe. We have our boost. We surf. Get out of here, Hitmonlee. There is Hitmonchan. Tries to punch a lot. I'm gonna surf a lot. That should take out Hitmonchan as well. And then we're at the champ. I kind of wanted to use Barba, my Dustox, against it. Oh yeah, Hitmontop's still around. I wanted to use Barba, the Dustox, against Machamp, but have Rock Slide. And they don't just have Rock Slide, they also have No Guard as their ability, meaning it will never miss. So I can't even count on that. And considering Machamp's strength, I would go down. Like, they don't have Guts, so what I'd probably do, if it was Barbara against Machamp, Toxic turn 1, Protect turn 2, and then heal, hopefully, and I just survive a regular Rock Slide. That might be the play. But it's just a lot safer to use Prince. If that Machamp had Guts, that might have actually been worse specifically for Barbara, because then if I had used the Toxic strategy or used the normal effective Sludge Bomb and had the chance to poison, which I've already done twice against Hitmontop and Onix in this fight, then I would have just boosted that Rock Slide by another 50%, and that would have just killed Dustox, because its defenses are like 70 base defense, it's as okay HP. Its special defense, I believe, is Dustox's best stat. How you feeling? Still Battle Cry? Nodded slowly. Happy that I got through the fight. We're going on to the next one. We have a little bit of healing to do here. Not a lot. We move on to Karen. And for Karen, I'm also going to start with Dustox. Or Barbara. I think I've already gotten everything. Gotten all the heals in, yeah. To the crystal room. On to the next one. Karen's Houndoom can be scarily strong, especially if it gets a set up nasty plot. Umbreon can be more annoying than scary, but if we can do enough double teams, then it could be really bad. We have a toxic Pokemon to start with, so we're just gonna toxic him in case he gets annoying. Then we can just take care of that with toxic. As long as we hit one of our toxics, we are fine. Outside of Umbreon being annoying, Vileplume can be a bit annoying, usually not too much of a problem, same for Murkrow. Houndoom can hit the hardest for sure in both the Gen 2 and Gen 4 fights. Gengar is arguably the scariest one because of Destiny Bond. The only big damaging move it has is Focus Blast, not even Shadow Ball for whatever reason. But that's just how it is. But it's Destiny Bond. Gengar is pretty darn fast, not the fastest, but it has some good speed. And has Destiny Bond. So if it outspeeds you, you try to take it out with Surf, with Fire Punch with Thunderbolt, Psychic, whatever. But they go first, and you take them out, your Pokemon is gone. So, just to make sure I get around that, because I have plenty of Pokemon that can take out that Gengar, but not Pokemon that are faster than that Gengar. Meaning I have to plan around it. I have to like taunt or swagger and then hope that they hit themselves, and then I can try and go for something. Or teach the Pokemon Sucker Punch right for that fight, and then only use Sucker Punch when, let's say, they don't use Destiny Bond, and then hope they don't use it again, because otherwise Sucker Punch doesn't work. Something like that. Oh no, Feint Attack. I should have maybe protected Toxic. Maybe not quite enough. The nice thing about Barbara being a poison type itself is that it doesn't get poisoned back. Umbreon has a synchronized ability, which if it gets a major status like poison or paralysis, I get it as well. However, I'm poison type, and poison types don't get poisoned. We go with that. Who's next? I would expect either Murkrow or Houndoom. Murkrow. Yeah, Prince. It's the safe one. Let's go Prince. What is the next Foreverlocke game? That has been decided. I will tell you once we get to the credits. That's usually when I preview the next game. I guess I use this to set up. I don't think I'll need it, because I can Ice Beam this one and probably Vileplume with the level difference. Surf the Houndoom. I intend to use Prince for Gengar as well. Now for Vileplume, I did... If Vileplume would have come out before Houndoom, Murkrow, or Gengar, I would have used Dustox there. But now I'll just use Prince. How I'm going to do with Gengar? I think that with base 100 speed on Prince, even with the negative speed nature, with the EVs I have plus the level difference from Prince to the Gengar, I think Prince will be faster. How I'm going to check to be sure of that is when Gengar comes out, turn 1 I use Tail Glow to just boost my stats. If I go before the Gengar, I assume I win on speed. There is that chance that we're same speed and we're speed, therefore we're speed tied. They win the next speed tie and then happen to choose Destiny Bond. That's a risk I'm going to have to take. But I'm going to test the speed with Tail Glow. If I am faster, I'm going to hit them the next turn. If I'm slower, then I'm going to try to not panic. And then I'm going to figure out a strategy on the spot how I can safely take out the Gengar without Destiny Bond. Prince goes up another level. That's already 2, because Prince's face has defeated most of these Pokemon. Honestly, I could put Aqua Ring instead of Shadow Ball now, because I'm not going to use Shadow Ball. I can easily take out Gengar with Surf, and against Lance, it's just going to be Surf and Ice Beam. And the other one, the Tail Glow. Alright, there's Gengar. Nine level difference how we test the Tail Glow. We go first. That is happy times. So now we just wait until they don't use Destiny Bond. They use Spite. I'm okay with that. They heal a bit with lefties, because why not? And then with 3 times power, I surf. I even forgot that I was going to use Shadow Ball. But considering I have the stat multiplier, and then I have 3 times power because of 2 Tail Glows, I'll be fine. Especially against the Pokemon that comes out next. I do realize I haven't used Munchlax at all. I've used Munchlax probably the most after Prince. Prince is used the most, and then Munchlax throughout the playthrough. I quickly threw in Cherrim for that 1 Onix, and I used Dustox for 2 Pokemon. Could have been 3 if Vileplume came out earlier. But I'm not even going to use Munchlax. Like, there are 1 or 2 1Xs that I don't use in the E4 just because their stats, they get taken out too easily. That's normal. The 2X doesn't often get used. Sometimes if it's a good stat Pokemon, their type matchup happens to work out, I might. Like, in Gen 3, I have a Rhyhorn. Rhyhorn is a high stat Pokemon for a 2X. A Pokemon that is capable of evolving twice. So, I might use Rhyhorn in in the E4 at some point, depending on type matchups and if it works out. But usually you won't see some of them. Sometimes there's a UR that I don't even use. Like, especially when I use Spinda. I didn't exactly use Spin that much. Didn't need much healing there. We have Max Elixirs. We just throw Max Elixirs on whatever we used, which wasn't that many Pokemon. Barbara gains a few Bug Buzzes and Toxic. And then I guess Flower gains an Energy Ball PowerPoint. That's about it. I'm gonna go with Prince again against Lance. Prince with Surf and with Ice Beam is good against everything that isn't called Gyarados. Gyarados has been a little bit of a troubling Pokemon. I've seen it a few times throughout the playthrough, including the Red Gyarados at Like a Rage. I don't have an Electric-type move on the team, and never have in this playthrough. Often, at least I have that as an option. I didn't have that here. How I generally dealt with it, is just send out Prince, because Gyarados doesn't hit Prince really hard. Because Gyarados has something like Waterfall, or maybe some other water move. Prince resisted. Ice Fang, resisted. This Gyarados in this case has Dragon Pulse. Neutral damage, but Gyarados' special attacks, that isn't that good in this generation. So I'm going to use Gyarados to set up Tail Glow, and then sweep. Prince is going to do so much, and probably gain another level, and be 8 levels higher than the rest by the time we get into the Hall of Fame. Before I started this playthrough, when I was thinking about what team to use, I didn't consider Manaphy as an option, because I hadn't redeemed that as a mythical yet. It was one of the few mythicals I hadn't redeemed. So then the team, I think, would have been the future Staraptor, Dustox, and then Charon together. And then not have too many backups until after Whitney? Although I think Roserade was an option after Bugsy as well. So that could have been an option if something had died, but that would have been so much more challenging, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to challenge myself. But I also realized Masquerain was one of the early options for URs, but that's 2 bugs if I combine it with Dustox. It's 2 flyings if I combine it with Staraptor. And as I was doing like the final like setups to start the playthrough, or like at the end of the last playthrough with Colosseum, I think it was I put the I updated my Hall of Fame list from Colosseum, and then in one of the things that I do with that is I have the amount of mythicals that I can redeem. Like, that depends on the amount of Hall of Famers I have in total, and that's in the same document. So when I updated that Hall of Fame document after the Colosseum playthrough, I noticed, hey, wait, I still have a few mythicals. Let's check which mythicals I still don't have. It was Manaphy, Melton Melmetal, and I intend to probably get at least redeem Melmetal when we get to Gen 8 again. Maybe Melton and Melmetal, probably both. Magearna? Although I do have a Magearna via the QR code, but that technically wasn't redeemed via event. And then Hoopa, I believe. Everything else has been redeemed. A large portion has not been used in the playthrough, but at least it has been redeemed and is in my storage bank. And I had to say, you know what? Manaphy, especially in Hard Gold Soul Silver, is really useful. Generally, water types in Johto can be really nice against Claire, against Lance, against various other fights. I decided, let's go with Manaphy. And I think Manaphy's been really good. At the time, I didn't even realize it would have Tail Glow. Let's go kick some Lance butt. Become the champ. How you feeling, Prince? Ready to become a king? Yeah. I like that they're standing next to me now because I approached them from the side. That wasn't even intentional. I've been waiting for you. Savannah! I knew that you, with your skills, would eventually reach me here. There's no need for words now. We will battle to determine who is the stronger of the two of us. As the most powerful trainer, and as Pokemon League champion, I, Lance the Dragon Master, accept your challenge! Assuming I don't need to heal, this battle takes 9 turns. Turn 1, Tail Glow. Looking at the super effective moves that they could do, this first Dragonite, or like one of the 2 Dragonites, has Thunder, so that's probably the scariest move they can do. Aerodactyl's Thunder Fang, which I'm a lot less afraid of. That Waterfall did nothing. Dragon Pulse probably will do a little more, but not too much. Turn 2, Tail Glow. Gyarados still has a good special defense, so I'll need probably 2 Tail Glows, maybe even 3 to even get the KO. And if I don't, look at the not high amount of damage that this Gyarados is dealing against my Prince. Turn 3, Tail Glow. I don't feel right about using X items that is too easy, too cheap, because you can use them in any Pokemon. And even something that's offensive, you can throw a bunch of defensive ones on. I don't feel right about that. Dragon Pulse also does nothing. The best I can do, honestly, at this one is Ice Fang and hope for Freeze. But Lance is not the only one with full restores. I've used... What did I use to heal here? 3 Max Elixirs, which probably weren't needed. 1 potion and 2 super potions? That was it that I've used. Ice Beam. At 4 times power? That might just KO Gyarados, right? I have a bit of special attack EV training also before the league. Yeah, that's the only not super effective move that we're gonna have. Scariest Pokemon is probably about to come out. One of the 49 Dragonites with Thunder. But I shoot out speed with that EV training. And even that Thunder shouldn't KO. Even with a crit, I might even survive it, I think. I think I'll be faster. Ice Beam! Let's go, Prince. Dragonite down. Who's next? Aerodactyl because it has Thunder Fang, or just the other Dragonite because it's the only one that isn't weak to water? Because they go maybe by my stab move that I could have. But I'm just gonna keep Ice Beaming. I had to be the last one. Let's be this one. Maybe they want to do like Thunder Wave into Dragon Rush. That might have been something cool. Bye, Dragonite. Bye-bye. This is gonna go well. I was confident in this, and I set Prince level 55. That's 8 levels higher than every Pokemon that isn't called Munchies. Oh look, it's something that's not as draconic, but still kind of, yeah. Here's Aerodactyl. Rare Pokemon. Kind of fits the theme. Surf, get out of here. Bye! That Aerodactyl is so dead. For some reason, they sent a Dragonite now and wait with Charizard. I suppose they sent out Aerodactyl first out of the last 3 because of Thunder Fang. But, whatever. We outspeed this one. Ice Beam. Bye, Dragonite. And the final Pokemon is Charizard. Oh, guys, I forgot. Please assist me. What is Fire type weak to again? Is it base 100 special attack with a pretty good special attack EV training? 6 stat stages boosted. Stab. Surf? I think that's a very dead Charizard. And I'm pretty darn sure. That's 6 little Hall of Famers. That's a 290. This is why I actually got 3 Dragonite, because otherwise he'd be weak to water. Yep. But a lot of water Pokemon learn Ice Beam. That's why water Pokemon are really nice in Johto. Phew! You have become truly powerful, Savannah. Your Pokemon have responded to your strong and upstanding nature. As a trainer, you will continue to grow strong with your Pokemon. Oh my god, interview with the champion, please! Oh no, it's all over. Why, Professor Oak, you're so slow. You're so old. Congratulations. Let's interview the champion. Paparazzi. Let's get out of here. Why my Batman? No, I want an interview. No. Lance is Batman confirmed. Like, he does have the cape. It's been a long time since I last came here. This is where we commemorate the League champions for all eternity. Their courageous Pokémon are also inducted. Here today, we witness the rise of a new League champion. A trainer who feels compassion for and trust toward all Pokémon. A trainer who succeeded through perseverance and determination. The new League champion who has all the makings of greatness. I feel like this text I've seen the most, because obviously you have the Johto games and then the remakes here. The Gen 1 and Gen 2 I'll have heard the most. This one I remember the most. Savannah, allow me to register you and your partners as champions. Play the music. Oh wait, we get the cool animation here. Yay. MVP of the run! Prince the Manaphy! We're gonna know the mythical in the Hall of Fame. Barbara the Dustox, which is the third Pokemon from the Wurmple line that's through. Yay! We got our Cherim. Flower was here. Maybe Cherubi is in the next Gen 4 playthrough. It's pretty likely. Munchies, we didn't actually get to see it in a fight, so I guess we could do like a tiny bit in post-game to do it for something. Munchies is here. And Buzzby in the second attempt. Buzzby Hall of Fame, which completes the Combi line. Both in the Hall of Fame now. Vespiquen was done in Heart Gold, I think. And then B. B is just B. Shortest Japanese Pokemon name into the Hall of Fame. Squad made it! I'm gonna throw this in the Foreverlocke Discord. Enjoy this for a few more seconds. Yeah. I'm gonna do a few fights after credits, just to use Munchies, Buzzby, and P a little bit. I feel like it's appropriate to show them off. And we also need to do a final family photo. I feel like that's appropriate too. These are just cute credits. I like it a lot. Alright, I did promise, as I usually do, tell you about the next game. This was a Gen 4 game, and I'm still doing loops through the generations. I intend to do that many more times until basically I run out of Pokemon in probably Gen 1, 2, or 3 first. And then I might skip them at some point. This was Gen 4, so we're going to Generation 5 next. Let's see, this will be the 6th time we're in Gen 5. Obviously in the first 4 we did white, white 2, black, black 2. Last time we did black again, and I like to do either black and then black 2, or white and then white 2. So I can use the memory link. We will be using the memory link again. Black was the last one. We will now do black 2 so that the memory links, especially Ends Pokemon, make the most sense. For probably the first time in my Foreverlocke history, I'm gonna play the male character when I have the choice for a female. Because like Gold, Silver, and then the Gen 1 games, you can only play as a male character. Coliseum XD, male character. every other game you have a choice, and I always play as a female because I generally like the looks of the female character more, and that's also consistent with stuff like the obedience mechanic. For some games that is important. I'm gonna switch around just a little bit for Black 2, and I intend to do it for every Black 2 and White 2 playthrough probably. Because, and this is why we're gonna do it, the memory link, if I have a character called Savannah that's female, and then in Black 2 or White 2 I have Savannah who is female, then it's gonna be a little awkward when the memory link comes in and a character talks to Savannah and is like, oh, hey, this girl 2 years ago called Savannah, they saved us. Oh, thank you, Savannah. Thank you, Savannah. And if you know the context, if you know the game's stories, then you know which Savannah they're referring to. It's a memory link, so it's going to be the Black one and not the Black 2 one. But it's weird. So I'm going to play the male character, make that completely clear, and come up with a different name. I don't remember if... I think I just called myself Alka, because I've actually set up that file already, just to make sure I have the memory link set up, because sometimes that causes a bit of issues. I believe I have that set up already. I haven't started playing at all, just the moment I could save the game, I saved the game, set up the memory links, stuff like that. That's what I've done. Hey, we got the end of the credits. And I was just delivered something. I think this is dough that is being made for an apple pie. Yeah. Just my dad was working on apple pie. You can give suggestions. Likely I'll just go with Alka, but if you have suggestions, I'm okay with changing. Because I can just adjust it. As long as it's before the playthrough has officially started, I can just adjust it in PKX. I'm fine with that. It has to be before I do any of the transfers or Pokemon, because I will then also use PKX to change basically the OT, the original trainer for a Pokemon that I transfer in to, let's say, Alka, and that they're male to their secret ID, trainer ID, stuff like that, so that I won't have obedience issues, because that's something I choose to avoid, effectively. Walk around with Munchies, because I think Munchies is really cute. I caught Munchies in my very first Gen 4 playthrough in Pearl. I was super lucky, like extremely lucky, that I was able to get it from a honey tree in that playthrough. Pretty sure every route that I could, I got an encounter from a honey tree, and most of them I got something on. I got a Combi, maybe 2 Combis, but maybe not all female. Multiple Wurmple, definitely got one of the Cherubi from that playthrough, maybe both? I don't think so, maybe one. And then I got a Munchlax as well, which is not only just rare and it's a Munchlax, and yay, I now have a Munchlax in Gen 4. Munchlax in the wild always come with leftovers, which means I had early game, well, maybe not early game, it was maybe mid to late game, but mid to late game leftovers. I had it already, which is really cool. Oh, yay, we're glitching. I'm so happy this never happens during a finale in the league. But the moment we're out of the credits, we glitch in. Hey, just so you're aware, for everyone in different parts of the world, I'm in Central Europe. So for me right now, it is 9:44 p.m. as I'm streaming this. Which means it's dark outside. Also, it's dark back in the lab now. Oh, healing machine. No, I wanted to talk to the professor. Hi. Yeah, this is the glitch that sometimes happens with specifically hard gold to silver ROMs. If you know the game well enough, you can just keep playing. Interactions all still work. And in this glitch state, even the initial glitch state that you saw, if you then initiate a battle, it's something with like the layering of in the game, because if you're in that, especially that initial glitch state, then if you go in a battle, most of the move animations are gone. I remember this from the partner takeover, where my then partner went into the Saffron gym with a Steelix that knew Dig in that glitch state. So they used Dig against like a Kadabra or something. You saw the Steelix going down at the normal speed and with the normal sound of Dig, but you didn't see the little dirt patches throw up. Then it hit, it just comes up. You don't see a little puff of, like, I don't know, dust, smoke. You didn't see more dirt being thrown around. It's just, and Kadabra got hit. Most animations are gone. Something that's also the case, any location that doesn't have normal lighting, and with that I mean any cave that would use flash, that requires flash to get through properly, or Ecruteak Gym, which has its own lighting. You can tell with, I don't know if it's the emulator, just specific visual settings, or if that just happens with ROMs of Heart Gold Silver specifically. Even if it's based on like the real thing, it looks weird. You can see the layers that are overlaid on top of each other, but you can still see on the outside of one of the layers, so one of the layers is kind of gone, so the layers aren't working 100%. And it actually makes it. Oh, Mom is calling. I was just with you, Mom. I was just in the house. You could. Where did you go in this darkness? Did you cause this blackout? Did you teleport? Did you get your illegal dealer or weed plant guy to give you some more rare berries that you can literally get nowhere else in the game? Also, I'm gonna walk to the grass. I realize you can't see. I should be in the grass now. Let's see how many animations we get. That still looks pretty normal, right? You know how with Seed Bomb, you usually like shoot or throw seeds and then they go boom, 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 and then the Pokemon gets defeated? Watch how many seeds are not being thrown here. I told you, just most of the animation is missing. You just get the shake. Anything that is overlaid on top of it, or somehow goes through it, I'm pretty sure Ice Beam would do the same. Ice Beam isn't just something that always stays like at the top layer, like with Seed Bomb. Ice Beam, I believe in Gen 4 that also goes over it. It's in Gen 5 that it goes through, so that shouldn't matter. But yeah, that's the thing that happens. I'll show you, I guess, the other caves. But I'll save now and reset so we can just get the light back. A normal view. But hi, welcome to Pokemon SoulSilver Corrupted Saga. I almost want to make like a YouTube short or some kind of highlight out of the fact that Mom called after we just left the house. I think I might actually do that. I'm gonna make a note of that. Highlight video, Mom calling after Hall of Fame and initiating the blackout. Yeah. Hey, things look normal. Trains is noticing the scent of grass. I shall use munchies a few more times. Take the lefties off. I'm not really allowed to use them in battle officially, but I'm just gonna show some things off. I'm not gonna do too much post-game. In my own time, I will officially play post-game, which is really just gonna be me fighting a few trainers until Mom gives me the last item. Because every about 3,000 Pokédollars or so that she earns, which is, I believe, considering she gets a quarter of my money, so that's every 12,000 that I earn, she would get me berries. But I want her to get to the final regular item, which is like 50,000 total for her, which is the Focus Sash. Munchlax is so cute. Munchies! It wants to lead. Look at Munchies. Munchies is adorable. Alright, Munchies, beat up a few Pokemon. If we find something that isn't a bird, I'm gonna Earthquake it. Because I haven't actually used Earthquake at all. Because I was thinking... Against normal types, I'll just use Return, because that Stab Return is slightly better than super effective non-stab Brick Break. Earthquake still helps like Brick Break against Steel and Rock types, and then Earthquake also hits poisons. Wait a second. Isn't it the day that he's in Cherry Grove? Yeah. Just like in the last... Like the first SoulSilver playthrough thing. No, it was in Partner Takeover. We just walked here, and he happened to be here. I need to position them correctly, because this is going to be the Hall of Fame team photo. The fifth... So the first one is the one that's next to me. I feel like Manaphy has to be the one that's next to me. Because of how it was the MVP. None of them are really that tall. Or you can see much of if they're behind. The fifth slot, which is normally the one Buzzbee's in, is the one that's behind you in the family photos, which is just unfortunate. The only one that you can kind of see well in that position is Barbara. We'll do Barbara there. And then that's going to be our family photo. Actually, no, I'll switch P to the fourth with Flower. Just to give it have it not be in the back. Hi, do you have a photo? And we're going to look at all the photos in the PC. All the family photos. Hall of Fame family photo! I love that for Hard Gold SoulSilver. It's I think one of the coolest features for me. And then the Foreverlocke, your team won't change much outside of maybe some deaths, maybe some evolutions. For me, it didn't change much, maybe just the spot. Like the ordering within the party itself changed a little bit as time went on, and therefore the family photos are a bit different. One of the family photos had Finneon in it because I needed Whirlpool. One of the photos had Machop in it because I needed Rock Smash for a second. One of them had Noctowl in it because I needed Fly for a second. Hall of Fame family photo! Yay, put that in the Foreverlocke Discord as well. Yeah, let's go to the PC. Let's look at some pictures. Savannah's PC. Yeah. Photo album. We've taken plenty. This was the first one. You only unlocked the photos at Goldenrod, so this was already after Staravia died. And from that point, the only one that could still evolve was Cherubi. Here we went to the Goldenrod Underground. We had a rocket outfit. This was near National Park, near the entrance of the Pokeathlon Dome. Here you can clearly see how Combi was behind me most of the time. And you can't see Combi well, so that's why I like to have a big Pokemon there. Or something that flies or like floats a little bit like Dustox, so you can see more of the Pokemon's body. And it's not hidden away fully. And also, I don't like to have something really big in the front of the party. So that, like in this case, Combi, if that would have been a big Pokemon like Steelix, you wouldn't be able to see Cleffa. Here you have Munchies on the left, we have Charim on the front for a bit. Sometimes I intentionally change the order a little bit just for the photo, that it wouldn't be the same as the last two. The Pokemon in them remained pretty much the same, because I had the same Pokemon throughout it. Here I had Machop, because I used it for Rock Smash for a little bit, I think. This was around the time that I was gathering some rare candies. I think 4 or 5 of the rare candies that I found was in that specific play session. I just went around and grabbed some of the rare candies that I knew were around the area, and for 1 or 2 I think I needed Rock Smash. So that's why Machop was on the team temporarily. And then I found the family, like found Cameron again, so I guess Machop is in 2 of them. Then we got to see in Wood City, got a photo there. This is Olivine? Yeah, this is Olivine City, next to the Pokemart. This would have been right after the rocket takeover of the radio tower, because you couldn't do it during, because the guy that allows you to take the photos in there, even though the camera was. This is Route 45, south of Blackthorn. I had Noctowl with me at the time as one of the 2 flying Pokemon that I had left. It was Noctowl and Delibird. And I was trained the entire way on Route 45, training before Blackthorn Gym. I do the right side, fly back, left side, fly back, and do whatever's left in the middle, fly back. If I don't have a flyer on my team, then I have to walk, after I complete the route, I have to walk to Cherry Grove, just do some extra stuff, and then grab a flyer to go back. And this, where is this photo? It's with Finneon. Oh, this is on the way to the Pokemon League on Route 26? Because I believe it counts 26, then 27 from Kanto's side. But this is Route 26, just like right after the water section, at the start of Route 26. And then if you go a little bit to the right and then up, you get to that little healing house. So this is still before Victory Road. So this was earlier today. And then here's the photo that we just took. Our Hall of Fame celebratory photo. Looking good, team. Does the Hall of Fame thing look any different? It looks like... Oh, okay, they have this. You know what? I'll take a screenshot of this one too. Because this looks nice. League MVP. Prince the Panaphy. Manaphy. Yeah. Now I'm going to grab Delibird from the box. Swap it with Munchies. So I can show off some more of the weird layering stuff that I was talking about earlier. Also, these are a lot of the Pokemon that I can add in future runs. Some Pokemon were not transferred in, so I wouldn't have to double up on a 2x early on. I also didn't transfer in an Eevee that is going to be a Leafeon, because I only want to do that one in any of the Sinnoh games. Because then you can have the early evolution into Leafeon in Eterna Forest. I don't think you can even get Leafeon in this game. And then Giratina I have at level 1. Got it from the Sinjo Ruins a couple of playthroughs ago. I only want to do that one in Platinum. So next time we play Platinum, that Giratina will be on the team. This time we went to the Sinjo Ruins again, in case you missed that stream. And we grabbed ourselves a level 1 Bob World. Our Palkia. So in a future Gen 4 playthrough, we will have Palkia as well. I'm not going to use it in Platinum, because then I'll already have Giratina. But yeah, I was thinking... I mentioned this in the league just before Lance. This playthrough could have been really hard with the team that I had set up, but then Manaphy made it a lot easier and more comfortable. Next time we do Platinum, Giratina is going to be on the starting team. Palkia is going to be in the starting team in a future playthrough in the near future for Gen 4 that isn't Platinum. Now, whether Bob World becomes the next water Pokemon that I use against Johto, I don't know. I might use it in just Diamond and Pearl. I've already used the Palkia once and it died to Cynthia's Garchomp in Platinum, so we'll see if I want to give it a rematch or if I want to do Johto. I think I might want to do a Johto playthrough Heart Gold to Silver at some point without a water type. See how that goes. We'll figure it out. We still have plenty of cool Pokemon to use. We have some Mythicals here. You might have seen Shaman in the box as well. Arceus is there. That'll be one of the last ones probably that'll go into the Hall of Fame because how strong it is. Alright, Dilly. I want to see you walk around for a second. Whee! Dilly! I'm gonna actually take Dilly to Ice Path. Because I assume Delibird has a special like interaction or something in Ice Path. And then I'll show you... Actually, I'm near Dark Cave. I'm going to show you Dark Cave to show how Flash works with the layering on the emulator. And then go to Aquatic Gym. Like it, Delibird? Cold? You're a Delibird! I thought it would like it because it's an ice type. Guess not. Alright, Dark Cave is with Flash. And I'm gonna put a regular Pokemon in front of the party. Buzzbee, please help. Well, now that I think about it, I haven't seen Anti-Raikou at all. So you see how this is pretty dark, right? And normally, I think they just overlay a big black square on your screen with a little light in the middle. And that light expands if you use Flash. But you might notice around the left side and the bottom part, there's some light there. But you don't see it on the right side and the top side of the screen, because that's just wall. We're on the top side of the cave. If you walk around, you can see here the light from the door comes through that top layer. Because they want that layer to be on the top. It's a bit of interesting how the layering works there. I just figured out because of this. Now it's still kind of hard to see. I have to like look about 5-6 squares in advance to know where the stairs are once I get to them. But this helps me see better where I'm going. And you never really need Flash anywhere. Even in the Gen 1 games like in Rock Tunnel. I know the route through Rock Tunnel by this point. I don't need it to get through to get through anything. And I think it's Ruby Sapphire you need Flash for Victory Road, which I think is annoying. I have a pretty good idea of how to get through Victory Road. And also I can just pull up the map on Bubblepedia. But here you get an idea of... You can just see. You can see around. Hi Zubat. I'm gonna beat you up with Buzzbee. Buzzbee, use Ominous Wind. Buzzbee was used in a few fights. Probably used it a bit against Bugsy. Not too much before that, I think. Not against Faulkner, because it's just too risky. Might have used it against some of the Bellsprout. Because I think Buzzbee was on the team. I think the starting squad, yeah. It was... Munchlax, Cleffa, Buzzbee were there from the start. And then it would have been just those three had I not transferred in, like, Green Manaphy as a mythical. And then Munchlax would have been my main against Faulkner. And then I would have added Charon, Dustox, Staravia after Faulkner. But now I had Manaphy. Oh! Corruption! It's happening again. This looks pretty normal still. Yeah, that's definitely Combi behind me. Totally. Let's have a battle so we can do more glitch animations. Oh. Well, this doesn't count anyway. You know what? Shadow Ball. Just kill him before he Destiny Bond. Or she. Lipstick. She. I totally shot an invisible Shadow Ball. We're in complete darkness, so there's no shadows. Therefore, you don't see a Shadow Ball. That's how shadows work, right? And now it just goes completely black. Where was the exit? I think I'm against a rock and I have to go around it. I'll just save and reset it. Hopefully for the final time. And then I'll show you... what? Aquatic Gym. And how that looks weird with the layering as well. So tomorrow, assuming I stream, I'm going to stream the Alkalock. Oh, I was actually one further. I must have not pressed down. there is Formula E tomorrow that we're gonna do preps for a Sinterklaas / Christmas party the day after, so I might not stream tomorrow. So keep an eye on my Discord for that. I'll try and update you like when the decision's been made, but that might just be right before normal stream time. If the stream doesn't happen, Alkalock will just continue the week after. And then the rest of the stream schedule will continue as normal. Animal Crossing on Monday. And then you'll see Black 2 on Wednesday for the first time. Now this still looks pretty normal for the Aquatic Gym. At least the top half of the screen does. You're not supposed to see the bottom half of the screen there. Because the lights here are supposed to be the only light source in the gym. So they have like a black layer over the game with the lights in the middle that go like widen and smaller a bit depending on the exact moment of the fire. The rest of the screen is supposed to be black. But that layer, which I assume is like even on top of that, like even farther on top, which might just be the outer edge thing in the flash caves as well, that's just non-existent in either the emulator or the settings. So you can actually just see where you're going. Except I still clicked off too early. What do you think of this place, platform? You like it? Okay. Yeah, so you can really easily see where you're going in this game. Whee! I don't fall into the darkness, I just fall into smoke. And because the darkness isn't at the bottom of the screen when you enter, there's nothing behind the entrance, which is also weird. I'm gonna go see Kurt, because I asked Kurt ages ago to make me Pokeballs that I never went to pick up. So I guess I'll go pick them up and then set a few bugs on fire, and then that's the end of stream. There goes Deli Deli. Kurt, have you made those Pokeballs that I'm never gonna use? Thank you. Bye-bye, I'll see you next time in, I don't know, Gen 2? Yeah, Gen 2 will be the next time. Alright, P, let's set some bugs on fire. Actually, is it? No, it's Friday now. It's not Saturday yet. So we can't do a bug catching contest and just burn them, that would have been funny. Here's the Oddish. Such a happy Oddish. It's about to be set on fire! Often, at the end of a playthrough, after a Hall of Fame, I do a hitting weak Pokemon with big moves screenshot. Just because it's funny. I take like a level 80 Pokemon with Hyper Beam, like my Arceus, and just go against a level 3 Pidgey on the early route and just destroy it. I think this would be a good moment to do it with Cleffa. I think that'd be fun. Oh no, I don't want to do it against Zubat. I'll still burn you. But I want it against an Oddish or preferably a Caterpie. It is burn with Pete. Please, Caterpie. Or Matapot, that works. Oddish, fine, we'll do Oddish. Let's go P. P, Flamethrower. Alex Forest is kind of creepy. I think they intentionally made forests pretty creepy. I only realized it very late, but the cave music in Gen 1 is the same as Viridian Forest. They intentionally made it that way. Alright, let's fly. Back to Cherry Grove. Put Munchie's back on the team, even though I'm not going to use it anymore. Heal up. And then in terms of the streams, playthrough 53 is done. I'll just do a tiny bit so we can get... Actually, we're going to the Pokemart. That's next door to see what Mom got us. And if it's a Focus Sash, then the playthrough is officially over. Otherwise, I'll still do a few more fights. It technically could be the Focus Sash. We got some good money in the League. Hi. It's the Focus Sash! Let's go! Alright, playthrough is done. See you later, everyone. That's the reason I didn't have Mom gather money right from the start, but since pretty early on, so we didn't miss too much money. Alright, we got the extra Focus Sash. Let's go. That is cool. So, in the end, Mom did not get us illegal berries. But I'm not going to show that in the YouTube highlight. Because why would I? Alright, let's find someone to raid and head out of here. Then I'm going to go cuddle my cat downstairs. I think she misses me a bit. She's been wanting to cuddle for a while. Let's go see Neil. Neil is playing Gen 2 Johto. Yeah, thank you for being here, Father. It was enjoyable. Good finale. Went through comfortably, safely. And I'm happy we made it through. Thank you very much for watching. See you maybe tomorrow for the Alkalock. Keep an eye on Discord for that. If not, I will see you again on Monday for Animal Crossing, and the Foreverlocke will be back on Wednesday with Pokemon Black 2. And it is likely to feature a mythical on the starting team. Maybe well after Gym 1. Not certain yet, considering I haven't started playing, but likely mythical, and I'm very strongly considering Keldeo, which would be really cool seeing using Resolute Keldeo for the first time. Alright, see you next time.